Welcome to the podcast, folks. I am your host, Sean Predmore, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening tonight. Thank you for joining me here for another episode of the podcast, episode 2, The Road to the Super Bowl. Tonight on the podcast, folks, I'll be talking about some current events surrounding the Buffalo Bills, the 2022-2023 regular season schedule, my Super Bowl 57 matchup prediction on who I think are going to be the final two playing in that championship game, February 12th, and which tight ends I do not think are going to make the final 53-man roster. Bear with me, guys. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to try to make the most informative, fun, entertaining episode I can for you guys. So, my voice, if it cuts in and out, I am very sorry for that. But, anyways, got my water next to me. I got my Monster. I got my Slim Jims. I'm ready to go, baby. All I'm waiting on is my plate of chicken wings. I cannot wait on my plate of chicken wings to get here. But, anyways, let's jump right into it, guys, if you guys are ready for it, because I am. Let's talk about some current events surrounding the Buffalo Bills. This is kind of new news. It's kind of not new news. If you guys haven't heard already, the Buffalo Bills are set to open up a brand new stadium in 2026. And bear with me, my phone app is telling me to drink water, so I'm going to do that. Drink water. All right, back to the news. So, the Buffalo Bills are going to get a new stadium in 2026. Now, if you guys haven't seen or heard anything about this, yes, it's kind of old news, but there are new developments coming out of the story. So, what are the new developments? Erie County had just released the initial site plans on where they're going to build the stadium. So, we're moving in the right direction. And the new site plans look like they're going to build the new stadium across from the current stadium, Highmark Stadium, right off of Abbott Road. And if you guys don't know how much this thing is going to cost, it's going to cost a lot. It's going to cost approximately $4.1 billion to build the stadium. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money to shell out for a stadium. But hey, that's how much it costs. That's how much it costs. It's not my money I'm putting into it, but it's going to cost $4.1 billion to build. And a lot of people are asking, well, where's this money going to be coming from to build the stadium? Who's paying for it? Are the Pagulas paying $4.1 billion to pay for it? And unfortunately, no, they're not paying all of it. And quite frankly, they're paying a small portion of it. And you look at the breakdown, well, where's the money coming from? The Bills are going to get a record $850 million from taxpayers, as well as $250 million from Erie County. But in addition to that, $600 million in state funds, $400 million is actually going to come from the gambling revenue, and roughly $180 million is going to come from the capital projects portion of the New York State budget. The NFL is actually going to be giving the Pagula family a $200 million loan. In return, the Pagulas must match that $200 million loan. And if you look at it, when you break it all down from an outside perspective, if you're not a Buffalo Bills fan, you're probably thinking to yourself, damn, the taxpayers up in Western New York, they got hosed and the Pagulas made out. I would agree with your argument. I would agree with your opinion. And understand that when you listen to this podcast, it's a show about my opinion based off the facts that I present, and I'm entitled to my opinion just like you're entitled to your opinion, and that's the great thing about America. We can have opinions and we can disagree with your opinion and we can agree with them. Doesn't mean one's right, doesn't mean one's wrong. That's why they're called opinions. And I wholeheartedly would love to listen to your side of the argument on this. But in my opinion, I can see it from many different ways. From an outside fan's perspective, that's not a Bills fan, and I could also see it from a business owner standpoint. Now, I'm not the owner of a NFL football team, but if I was an owner of an NFL football team, if I was we'll just use the Bills for example. If I owned the Buffalo Bills and my goal was to bring a brand new stadium to the city of Buffalo, I'm going to ask myself the question. The question is this: how can I bring a brand new stadium to this city and not pay as much out of my pocket to do so? And that's a smart business decision to make. That's an entrepreneur mindset. And I think honestly, we all think like that. I mean, come on. Who doesn't go on to Amazon and want to buy something off of Amazon? They're like, I want this, but can I get it cheaper somewhere else? Like, We all think like that. If you don't, then you really got to work on your budgeting skills. But come on, from a business standpoint, the Pagulas, they're thinking about this right, and they're trying to save as much money as possible, and in the end, not and give the Bills a brand new stadium, the fans a new stadium. So looking at it from a Bills fan perspective as well, I don't think the Bills. I know I wouldn't, but I don't think the Bills fans really care how much they got to pay. All they really care about is the Buffalo Bills do not leave Western New York. I mean, yes, I grew up a Bills fan. My dad raised me a Bills fan, but at the same time, I don't think the Bills fans really care. They will probably sell an arm and a leg. They'll probably even sell a kidney if it meant keeping the Buffalo Bills in Western New York. They probably take out a third mortgage on their loan just to keep the Buffalo Bills in Western New York. The taxpayers up in Western New York, the Bills Mafia fan base, they will do whatever they got to do. They will pay as much as they got to pay as long as the heart and soul of Western New York, Buffalo, New York, the Buffalo Bills does not leave. Yes, you have the Buffalo Sabres, but that's a love-hate relationship up there. Trust me. That's a love-hate relationship up there. But I don't think the Bills fans really care. They got their deal. They're paying a little bit more out of pocket. But hey, the Bills signed a 30-year lease with the legislators of Erie County, and congratulations to us. Woo! We got a brand new stadium, and I'm very excited about that. Only thing is, we got to wait. We only got to wait 4 more years, guys, but it'll come. It'll come in time. So, phone app once again is telling me to drink water because I currently live in Missouri and I'm dealing with 100-degree weather and I do not want to die of heat stroke. So I'm going to drink some water. Give me a second here. Drink water. All right. So congratulations to us and the Buffalo Bills on getting a brand new stadium, and I think we've really earned it. Um, I think these past 5 seasons have shown that we've earned it. So with all the changes, bringing Brandon Beane in, Sean McDermott, bringing the Bagulas in at ownership at the helm, Josh Allen at quarterback. You know, there are just so many important pieces to the puzzle that brought us to this point right now, and so many contributing factors. You look at the first 5 seasons. I mean, the prior 20 seasons were just abysmal, terrible. But I think this past 5 seasons, we've turned this ship around and we've become a top juggernaut in the NFL. We are a top contender. We've proven that, and I think we are deserving of a brand new stadium, and I think we've earned it. You got the right quarterback in Josh Allen. You got phenomenal weapons around him. You know, hats off to the players these past 5 seasons, especially the ones that are no longer here that helped us get to this point. Cole Beasley, wide receiver, no longer with us. Yes, he was a contributing factor, not so much last season, but he was a contributing factor to where we are today, where this franchise is. John Smoke Brown, wide receiver, he was a contributing factor. Emmanuel Sanders was a contributing factor. Uh, Dawson Knox, Devin Singletary. The list goes on and on, guys. But that's just offense. But defense, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Taron Johnson, you name it. These guys were contributing factors to help us get to this point right now. So hats off to a lot of these guys. I know I'm not naming everybody, but I think, are very deserving of a stadium. We've proven that. So enough on this. We're going to switch topics and we're going to go into which tight ends I do not think are going to make the final 53-man roster. So, obviously, the NFL is a business, and unfortunately, you cannot keep everybody that you want to keep on the roster. We have to get this roster down to 53. And looking at the Buffalo Bills depth chart currently at this time, you have Dawson Knox as your starter. You have O.J. Howard as your second string, Tommy Sweeney at third, and Quentin Morris at fourth. Now, depending on what the Buffalo Bills do, I think, in my opinion, I don't know yet, but if I'm going to guess, I think with bringing in OJ Howard and Dawson Knox, I'm going to pay attention to think to myself, that's probably a good clue that they're going to run more of a two tight end offensive set. Maybe two tight ends, single shotgun backfield, you name it. We'll see. I think we're going to run a two tight end set, and if we're going to run two tight ends, we obviously are going to have a backup in between downs to give either OJ Howard or Dawson Knox, excuse me, a breather. And who's that guy going to be? Well, I think that guy is going to be Quentin Morris, and I think the odd man out is Tommy Sweeney. And here's why I think that. Let's look at the numbers in comparison. You're obviously going to want to keep your beast of a tight end, Dawson Knox, at number one. Dawson Knox came into the league in 2019. He played 15 games the first season, 12 the next, 15 in 2021. And he got hurt. So he would have played more games if he didn't get hurt, but unfortunately he did. And then you look at Tommy Sweeney in comparison since 2019. They both came in the same time. Didn't play in 2020, but he only had 6 games he played in 2019 and 13 games in 2021. So a total of 19 games in the course of his Buffalo Bills career, whereas Dawson Knox has played 42. And you look at the receptions, you look at the targets, you look at the numbers, the touchdowns, what they're averaging, and you just don't really see progression out of Tommy Sweeney. I don't see Tommy Sweeney as more of a 5 yard, 10 yard flag route or a fly route or a post route tight end or a curl route tight end. I see him more as a blocking down tight end, a crackback tight end, you name it, a counter block tight end, whatever. He's more designed specifically for your running game. And unfortunately, with the layout and the offense, the Buffalo Bills, they tried it last season to try to work more on their run game opposed to passing because their identity for the past 3 years prior to last year was they were always a passing team. When you thought about the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, you thought about, man, damn, they're a passing team. They're a shotgun, in your face, air it out team, not this run it down your mouth, run it up the gut team. So they tried last season to change up their identity. It didn't really work. And now we're bringing OJ Howard in from Tampa, bringing in a veteran in OJ Howard. I mean, OJ Howard, he's been in the league since 2017. Um, so he's got 5 years under his belt. But unfortunately, OJ Howard hasn't been the guy that he's been since he first came into the league. When he first came into the league, I think he had like, let me look at the stats here. Yeah, he had 6 touchdowns, 5 the following season, 1 the next, had 2, and then 1. And he's declined over the years since 2019. But look at who he's got for a quarterback now. Look at the offense around him. The Buffalo Bills offense is scary. They are scary. So I really think with bringing OJ Howard in and Dawson Knox, they're going to run a 2 tight end set. So we're going to go with number 1, Dawson Knox, number 2, OJ Howard. But even though Tommy Sweeney is the third string, I think you're really going to want to go with Quentin Morris as the younger gun and have some fresh legs underneath Dawson Knox and OJ Howard to give Howard and Knox those breathers in between downs and games. So when it's all said and done, you take all those contributing factors and you get the totality of the circumstances. Look at the totality of the circumstances. I think Tommy Sweeney is the odd man out. So this is not a knock towards Tommy Sweeney. I mean, I wish him the best of luck if he gets cut. He might go to a team that's really in need of a tight end, but even if they're in need of a tight end, I don't see him being a starter. I see him possibly being a second string. He's probably going to go to a divisional rival, guys, if I had to guess. He'd probably go to Miami if I had to put money on it. Or maybe he might even go to Tampa. But I think he's going to get cut, and he's going to be Mike Gesicki's backup tight end. So I think he's going to get cut and go there just because he's a divisional rival, and he could probably bring some insight, some inside news in regarding to what the Buffalo Bills are doing. And I think the coaching staff over in Miami be like, that might work to our advantage. But unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna. And my phone app is going to tell me to drink water. So give me a few seconds, guys. Drink water. All right. Now we're going to move on to another topic, guys. My Super Bowl 57 matchup prediction. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I don't have the NFL theme song, or else I'd be playing it. But I think, and hear me out, guys, it is July 23rd, 2022. My Super Bowl 57 matchup prediction, I think, mark it down, is going to be, wait for it, the suspense is killing, I know, the Buffalo Bills versus the defending Super Bowl champions, Los Angeles Rams. We are going to have a Bills-Rams Super Bowl, guys. You heard it here. July 23rd, 2022. Bills-Rams Super Bowl. I cannot wait for it. February 12th, Arizona. I hope I'm right. I think I'm right. I mean, my Magic 8 Ball said I was right. I asked that question. It said it was decidedly so. And I asked again. It said yes. So we got a Bills-Rams Super Bowl. And what I find very, very interesting and very ironic is that the season is going to start off Bills versus Rams, and it's going to end Bills versus Rams. That's going to be cool. I think it's just destiny in the making. Maybe I'm wrong, but hey, my Magic 8 Ball doesn't fail me, and if it did, I'm going to go buy another one. But I think that's going to be our Super Bowl prediction, guys. That's mine, anyways. Bills versus Rams. Leave in the comments on who you think is going to be the Super Bowl 57 matchup prediction. And I know we're supposed to take it one game at a time, but I'm going to go over the overall record on on what I think the Buffalo Bills are going to finish overall. And this is not me being biased because I'm a Bills fan and this is a Bills podcast you're listening to. This is just me being realistic. Yes, we do have some losses in here. Not many. I'm glad to say that, in my opinion. And then I'm also going to compare one other team's schedule to our schedule, but we'll get to that in a few seconds and then the reason why I'm doing that. So, let's roll into it, guys, shall we? Looking at the 2022 Buffalo Bills schedule, we start off week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. I've already talked about that. And I hate to say it, guys, I think we're going to start off the season 0-1, 0-1. And I hate to say that, but you have to look at it. We're going up against the defending Super Bowl champions. It's week 1, guys, the regular season. Not really any team in the NFL has everything worked out working for them in week 1. So unfortunately, I think we're going to be going through the kinks and trying to get through the rough marks and rough patches, and we're not going to be gelling. We're not going to be gelling like the juggernaut team that we are on paper week 1, and that's expected. I wish we get the win. I hope we get the win. I hope I'm wrong, but I foresee us coming in and losing to the Rams in California, and that's okay because that's going to make us much more hungrier next week because the Bills are going to be like, yo, this is the team that's expected to go all the way to the Super Bowl. So I think that's going to fuel their fire. They're going to bounce back. They're going to come to Orchard Park, and they're going to beat the Tennessee Titans. And I don't know what it is, Ryan Tannehill. I just don't see Ryan Tannehill, guys, as your guys' future quarterback at Tennessee anymore. I think you guys need to start looking for a new quarterback. I know you guys drafted one there in the draft, but then you have week 3, so we're gonna get the win we're gonna get the win against Tennessee, and then we're gonna play the Miami Dolphins in week 3. Rest in peace to my mom. I love you. I know you're looking down on me. You're smiling. I love you so much. I miss you every day. I love you. Uh, I think about you every day. So God bless. Week 3, we're gonna come in and we're gonna get the win against the Dolphins. We're gonna go to 2-1. Uh, week 4, we're gonna go to Baltimore and we're gonna beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and we're going to go 3-1. We're gonna go back to Orchard Park, New York, and we are going to, I'm gonna say it, we are going to spank. We're gonna spank the Pittsburgh Steelers, and here's why I think we're gonna spank them. Ben Roethlisberger's gone. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they have a quarterback crisis right now. They need to reinvent themselves. Mike Tomlin is going to have his hands full trying to establish his identity again. They're not going to be the Steelers that we've known for the past 15, 16 years, guys. It's you guys are going to, unfortunately, in Steeler Nation, uh, terrible towel land, you guys are going to have to you guys are going to be struggling for years to come. I hate to say it, but you're in the rebuild phase, and you guys got a lot of work. But we're going to spank the Steelers, and we're going to move on to week 6, and we're going to play the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City, and we are going to, I hate to say it, guys, but we're going to drop an L. We're going to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs, in my opinion, because here's why. You had this quarterback comparison between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Who's better? Well, and this is just not being me. This is not me being biased, and this is me. This is me being real. When you stack up the two and you look at stats, you look at statistics, on paper, this year, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills have the better team this year. But when you go back and you look at the history, the rivalry, and oh my God, I love this rivalry between Allen and Mahomes. Mahomes is the guy to beat. And Josh Allen has to step out of that shadow of Patrick Mahomes. So, is this going to be the year that he does that? I think so. I think so. I still think the Kansas City Chiefs are a powerhouse team. They're a top juggernaut team in the AFC, and I'll get to them here in a little bit. But we are going to lose them because, man, we're going into Kansas City, Missouri. Now, yes, the Chiefs have lost some weapons in Hill. He's off to Miami now. But, I mean, you got to look at it. There's still a lot of weapons. Edwards-Helaire, running back. You have Mahomes at the helm at QB. You still have Travis Kelce. You got Josh Gordon. I think they got Byron Pringle still. I haven't really looked much at their depth chart, but they still are a top juggernaut team, and you're going into Kansas City now, just like the Buffalo Bills fan base, the Kansas City Chiefs fan base. Oh my God, that's a tough stadium to play in. That fan base is off the charts. They're a tough crowd to play in. They're a tough team to play against, especially with a tough crowd, is what I mean to say. But I think it's going to be a good game, hell of a game. I really think. I think it's going to be 28-24. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win that one, win it by 4. But could be wrong on the score. But I don't think we're going to get the win. I could be wrong. I hope we do. But I just realistically at this time, I don't see us beating the Chiefs. Now, we move on to week 7. We got a bye week there, so we automatically win. Hooray! And then we move on to week 8. We play the Green Bay Packers in Orchard Park, New York. Well, I think we're going to 5-2, guys. I think we're going to beat Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and I really think I think we're going to have Aaron Rodgers' number all day. I think we're going to spank the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is not what he used to be. He's getting older. He's got some gray in the beard. Maybe he should start doing some Just for Men commercials. I don't know. Maybe he needs to switch from State Farm to Allstate. Who knows? Whatever he needs to do to make things work for him. Maybe drink some more fiber, more prune juice. I don't know, but he is not the guy that he used to be. He is not the quarterback he used to be. He's an aging guy. And not saying he's not good, but he is. He's Aaron Rodgers. He's got his accolades. He's got his awards. He's earned the right to be where he's at, and he's got a good legacy behind him. But he is not the guy he used to be anymore, and his performance is going to go downhill. And I'm going to say this. This is a shout out to one of my good buddies who's a Bears fan. I know he's probably listening to this podcast right now, and this is for you, dude. You know who you are. Uh, I'm going to say it. Aaron Rodgers does not own the Bears anymore. If anything, the Bears they own the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. So sorry, Mr. Rodgers, you're gonna have to go back to your neighborhood and cry because you no longer own the Chicago Bears. It's Justin Fields, and they are going to spank you this year, and I'm very happy about that. So no more of the "I own you" from Aaron Rodgers. So hats off to the Bears. Go kick some Aaron Rodgers' butt this year. And we're moving on. That's all I'm going to say on that. We're moving on to week 9. We have the New York Jets. We're going to come in. We're going to beat the New York Jets in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We're going to go 6-2. We're going to go 7-2. We're going to play the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to play against a really good Minnesota Vikings team. And I'm very excited to see this matchup. Brother versus brother running back. I'm talking about the Cook brothers. I cannot wait for that. I'm very excited for that. Then we have week 11 against the Cleveland Browns. I think we're going to win that one. We're going to go 8-2 in Orchard Park, New York. Orchard Park, New York. And Baker Mayfield, he's gone. The Bakester is gone, and Cleveland Brown, and the Cleveland Browns are just, I don't know how they feel about this, but maybe some are happy, maybe some are not. But this franchise is trying to find their identity again, and I just think that there's a quarterback issue, obviously, because now he's off to, I think he went to Carolina. He went to Carolina. So who's going to be the Cleveland Browns quarterback? Who's going to be the starting quarterback? I just don't think you got Chubb at running back, but you guys are just going to, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm sorry, but you guys are going to struggle this year. So we're going to go 8-2, week 11, and my phone app, I have reminders here that tell me to drink water one more time. Bear with me. Drink water. I take that back. That was actually a Monster that I drank. So I'm drinking Monster and water, guys. So bear with me. We're going to move on to week 12. We go in and we play the Detroit Lions in November on the 24th. Woohoo! We are going to spank the Detroit Lions. We're going to go to 9-2, week 12. And then we move on to the Patriots with Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Week 13, we're going to go 10-2. From there, we're going to move on to week 14. We're going to go 11-2 against the Jets. Week 15, 12-2. We're going to move up to 12-2, I should say. Excuse me, against the Miami Dolphins in Orchard Park, New York. Mom, I love you. Shout out to you. Miss you every day. We're going to move on to week 16. Sorry, buddy. I know you're a bit. We play the Chicago Bears. We're going to go 13-2 against them. But if you're I know one of my friends is. I just talked about him earlier. But if you're a Chicago Bears fan, Bears. You guys, I think, in my opinion, are going to make the playoffs. I think you're going to be a wild card team. I think you guys are making the right moves over there in Chicago, and I think you guys are going to be a tough competitor for years to come. So, good things are happening in Chicago. We're going to move on to week 17. We're going to go to 14-2 against the Bengals. We're going to play Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. We're going to get the win on them, guys. And then we're going to go week 18. We're going to close out the season against the Patriots in Orchard Park, and we're going to go 15-2. Now, that is my prediction, 15-2. That's our overall record. Now, I did talk about one other team schedule, and the reason why I'm going to bring that up is because of this. I'm going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, their schedule. Where do I think they're going to finish? Well, honestly, I'll read you their schedule, and I'll go with. I honestly think the Chiefs are going to have a phenomenal season this year. I really do. They're going to go 1-0 against the Cardinals. They're going to go 2-0 against the Chargers. They're going to go 3-0 against the Colts, 4-0 against the Buccaneers, 5-0 against the Del Raiders, and then they're going to go 6-0 against my beloved Bills. Still going to be a good game, 28-24 in my opinion. They're going to come in and they're going to spank the 49ers. And then they're going to come in against the Tennessee Titans and go 8-0. And then they're going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to go 9-0. So, in my opinion, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win 9 straight. And they're going to suffer their first loss against the Los Angeles Chargers. And I think that score is going to be 34-31, guys. I think that's going to be a hell of a game. Hell of a game in California. But I think that's where they're going to suffer their first loss is against the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Man, that team is stacked over there. Justin Herbert at quarterback. What a young gun he is. If I had to compare the top 3 quarterbacks right now in the NFL, yes, I know Joe Burrow's got a champion. I'm sorry, he's not a Super Bowl champion, but I mean, anyways, in his own right. But if you look at the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now for years to come, you got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Herbert. Those are going to be your 3 main guys for the next 5-10 years, guys. So if you guys can get those guys on your fantasy teams as quarterbacks, have at it. You will have a lot of success with them. But yeah, I think they're going to come in. They're going to lose to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to come down to a field goal and 34-31. And then they're going to, unfortunately, come back to Kansas City, and they're going to suffer a second loss. So they're going to go down a little dip here, guys. I think they're going to lose to the Los Angeles Rams. They're going to lose to the defending Super Bowl champs. And then the following week, it doesn't get much easier for them. They go in and they play Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're going to go to 9-3. So they're going to suffer a 3-game loss. They're going to take that little dip, and then people are going to start to think, oh, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? Should we start to be concerned? Should we not be concerned? I'm telling you guys, if you're a Chiefs fan, you don't need to be concerned. You guys are good, because you're gonna bounce back. And the reason why I say you're gonna lose to the Bengals, and this is not me just trying to be rude or anything like that. You have to look at the facts. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, for some reason at this time, has been the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite. Don't know why. Though it is. I mean, you could look at I guess it can. I guess I do know why. Because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that combination has just been stellar. But Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have had Patrick Mahomes' number. So that's why I think he's still going to have his number. He's going to be their kryptonite for a while. So I think they're going to suffer their third loss against the Bengals. Now, don't worry, Chiefs fans. I think you're going to bounce back, and that's the only loss that you're going to have the last loss you're going to have the entire season. You guys are going to come in. You're going to beat the Denver Broncos. Yes, you guys picked up. If you're a Broncos fan, I know a buddy of mine that's in the military. He's a Broncos fan, and I'm pulling for him every time. He's very passionate about his Broncos his Broncos team. But yeah, he did get Russell Wilson, and I just don't think. I think they're going to be a wild card team. I just don't think they're going to go very far, even though they got Russell Wilson. But it looks like they can turn that franchise around for the better. Obviously, Russell Wilson is not going to be their future quarterback for the next 5-6 years, but it's a start. As long as they do what they have to do over there in Denver, and they got to build the right pieces around Russell Wilson, bring some young guns in, and then transition to a new quarterback in the draft maybe next year, and then take him. He's under the wing of Russell Wilson. I think that's how you got to do it, and that's the smart move to make. If you're a Broncos fan, or if you're the Broncos organization, okay, you got Russell Wilson, you got your veteran quarterback. Now get your scouts out there, Go find that superstar quarterback like you have in Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Herbert. Go find that dime in the rough and bring him to Denver and let him learn. Let him sit on the bench for a couple years under Russell Wilson, and there you go. And now you're talking about the next 4 dynamic quarterbacks for the next 10 years. Whoever this guy is, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert, he'll be in the conversation for sure. In the AFC West, that is the toughest division in the AFC. I mean, look at how do I think that division is going to finish? Obviously, I think the Chiefs are going to finish first, and then you're going to have I think it's going to be the Chiefs, followed by the Chargers, followed by the Broncos, and then in last place they're going to miss the playoffs. The Raiders. I'm sorry, guys, the Raiders. Well, that didn't even make sense because that's the Bears, but. The Raiders, unfortunately, you guys are black and blue right now, boys. You got a lot of fixing up to do, and I think you guys are going to struggle for years to come. But we'll see. They are making some moves, especially in the main office. I think they just, for the first time in NFL history, this is awesome. They have a black female executive vice president in there, and that's awesome. Shout out to that. That's awesome. Hopefully they do good things and they turn that organization around, but I think they're going to struggle for years to come. Sorry, Raiders fans. But anyways, moving on. The Chiefs are going to go back to their winning ways and they're going to spank the Houston Texans. They're going to go 11-3. They're going to move on to the Seattle Seahawks, another team that's struggling to find their identity again with the quarterback situation because they just lost Russell Wilson. They're going to go 12-3. They're going to come back and they're going to beat the Denver Broncos again, and it's going to be in Arrowhead Stadium, a tough stadium to win in. They're going to go 13-3, and then they're going to end the season with the poor lonesome Raiders and going to go 14-3, and they're going to do it with their third string team. I feel like the Raiders have just given up that point, and the third string. The second string offensive team for the second string offense for the Kansas City Chiefs is going to still demolish them. But that's how I see it happening, guys. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to finish 14-3. The Buffalo Bills are going to finish 15-2. Number 1, number 2. And the reason why I'm talking about these two teams is because, mark it down, guys, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Buffalo. That's right, guys. The road to the Super Bowl goes through Buffalo. This is our time. This is our year. And who are we playing in that championship game, that AFC Conference Championship game? We are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I am telling you, I foresee it, guys. We are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Buffalo. It's going to be a glory day. It's going to be a party. We're going to have people tearing down the field goal post like they did in the 90s. I'm telling you, Buffalo, New York is going to be rocking. There is going to be people breakdancing in the streets up in Western New York, all right? Parades, you name it. But the AFC Championship game goes through Buffalo. Mark it down. You heard it here. July 23rd, 2022. We are going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, Buffalo, New York. And here's how we are going to win the game. We are going to be on the 17-yard line. Josh Allen is number 17. It's destiny, guys. I feel it in my bones. We're going to be on the 17-yard line. 3 seconds to go. The game is tied 31-31. And out comes the hero, Tyler Bass. The wind is at his back. He's kicking from the right hash mark. He's not kicking from the left. You want to know why? Screw that wide right. You know what? We don't want that anymore. We want to go to the Super Bowl. 17-yard line. Wind is at his back. Number 2. lined up on the right hash mark. 17 is your quarterback. J.A. The fans are crying. The fans are praying. The ball is snapped. The laces are faced the right way. The hold is good. And Tyler Bass comes in and kicks the field goal right down the middle. Boom. 0-0-0 game clock. Buffalo Bills win the AFC Conference Championship game. And they're on the road to the Super Bowl, guys. And Tyler Bass is the hero. And he's held up on the shoulders of Von Miller. And Von Miller says, "Ow, my back, get off me." And hopefully he plays the championship game because he's hurt now. But that is how it's going to end, guys. And that is how I am going to end this episode, episode 2, The Road to the Super Bowl. And we are going to win the Super Bowl for the first time in Bills history. How awesome is that going to be? I hope I'm right, guys. So we're going to close this out with that good feeling. And join me live, episode 3. Live from New Jersey. I'm going to be live from New Jersey. And I'm going to be attending the 42nd Annual Sports Convention Center. And I'm going to be meeting some Hall of Famers. Jim Kelly. Hopefully Bruce Smith is out there. Hall of Fame Buffalo Bills legends. And I'm going to be doing my live podcast, promoting the podcast at the Sports Convention Center. Join me. Episode 3, July 28th, live from New Jersey. Let's go Buffalo. See you guys July 28th. Boom.